Today we finna react to TikTok influencers coin a new term, quiet quitting. I do not know what that means.
Well, our culture's most popular pastime, as we know, is complaining, especially about stress. You know, the idea of stress, as we know it today, wasn't invented in the English language until the 1930s. Before that, it's fair to say that nobody ever complained about their stress because the concept is.
I noticed that in today time. I know this is an early pause, but I need something to give my 2 cents in. I got to do that in the intro, man. It's just something I do. But anyway, man, that's what I noticed. It's like a lot of people, we try to give terms to things that's already a thing. You feel me? Like, and then it's like we also trying to normalize a lot of bullshit, bro. Like we normalizing a lot of crazy shit today, bro. Like it's kind of outrageous how much shit we try to normalize. Like if you go back even 30, 40 years ago, bro, this shit ain't even normal, bro. So I don't know, man. Seek God.
Didn't really exist. That's not to say that people didn't feel stress or didn't lead stressful lives. It's just to say that they simply lived those lives and dealt with the strain without feeling the need to put a label on it and talk about it incessantly. These days, though by most measures we have easier lives, we love nothing more than to talk about our difficulties. We're so burned out. We have so much anxiety, so much stress. Everything is so hard. And we need to.
Literally, I do not see how we complain about everything being hard when literally, if you want to look back in like 15 years ago, you feel me? Like, not, or not even 15 years, even, yeah, 15 years ago, you couldn't just press a button and you feel me? You have food at your house. You feel me? It's at your doorstep. This wasn't even existing 15 years ago. You feel me? Like in 2022, bro, the world is handed to us basically, bro, and we still find ways to complain and complain and complain, bro. Like, bro, we don't even know what stress is, bro. We don't know what anxiety and depression is, bro. Like, imagine back in the day, bro. Like, I'm talking about way, way, way back in the day, bro. Let's go to slavery, bro. You don't think they was stressed out and like we have it too good to, you feel me? We should be rejoicing in how good and peaceful we have it.
To talk about this to our friends, our families, to strangers on the internet, to counselors and therapists. I mean, we've got armies of people we've set up to just complain to them about how hard our lives are. We have to vomit our feelings of being overburdened onto everyone, everywhere, all the time. This is, without question, the modern world's favorite hobby. Now, our second favorite hobby is to come up with trendy new labels for common human experiences. So we like to take things that people have always done, or always felt, or always said, and invent a term to describe it, so that we can pretend that this universal experience is somehow novel. So, for example, recently I came across the term flexitarian to describe people who eat both vegetables and meat. This is a diet strategy shared by 99% of the human civilization since the dawn of civilization. But now the flexitarian can pretend that he's reinvented the wheel by giving this exceedingly normal thing a brand new name. In fact, I'm surprised we haven't come up with a new name for wheels so that we can pretend that we actually did reinvent them. Maybe we'll get around to that eventually, as we seem to specialize in the art of inventing things that were already invented. But what happens when these two popular pastimes are combined? What if we could whine about our stressful lives while also inventing a new label for something people have always done? What if we could do both? That would be the modern dream. That's the holy grail. And that's what brings us to the hot new trend called quiet quitting. Now, the media tells us that quiet quitting is a revolutionary concept, quickly gaining traction in society, and especially in the workplace. The headlines are full of references to this practice. Here's some samples of the headlines. Quiet quitting is a trend taking over TikTok and your workplace. Everyone is talking about quiet quitting, but is it a good idea? 3 millennials on their experience of quiet quitting. What is quiet quitting and why are employees doing it? An explainer. The Washington Post provides more details. It says, quiet quitting is taking social media by storm, but you might not have noticed. The term is a bit of a misnomer because quiet quitters aren't walking away from their jobs. Instead, they're renouncing hustle culture, quitting the idea of going above and beyond at work, as TikTok user Zaid Lepin, I see what he did there, said in a July post that has amassed more than 3 million views and helped popularize the phrase. The trend is resonating strongly with those Gen Z and millennial workers fighting to rewrite the rules of the workplace. Signs of quiet quitting look like classic indicators of diminished motivation and low engagement, according to Joe Grasso, Senior Director of Workplace Transformation at Lyra Health. That might be decreased productivity or withdrawing from the team, limiting communication and interaction to only what's required, Grasso said. It could manifest as employee cynicism or apathy about work, or staying silent rather than sharing input. Now, the article.
Um, I don't know what he's finna say, but for what I'm finna say, bro, that just sound like laziness, bro. Like in our society, bro. Please, bro. I'm not trying to get started, bro, but I hate my generation, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I should have been in. No, actually, I was born in a perfect generation, bro, so that I can help my generation, bro. My generation needs me, bro, because you feel me. It's like we try to knock off responsibility, bro. Like look like we want to do adult things, you feel me, but not want to have adult consequences, you feel me. Like it's like we're backwards, bro. We want to do everything without having consequences. We want to have a get out of jail for free card, bro. Like we just want to have that handy, bro. Like just how most women was getting mad about Roe v. Wade, bro, about how they couldn't kill their baby no more, bro. Like come on now, bro. Like this, like bro, if you want to do things, you could. Okay, it's cool to do whatever you want, bro. God gave us free will, but you also got to deal with the consequences that comes with them. You can't just reap the benefits from everything. You feel me? Like, bro, this isn't Disneyland. This isn't Disney World, bro. Even though we're starting to become Disney World with all this, you feel me? Not being without this lack of freedom of speech and cancel culture and everything, bro. This isn't Disneyland, bro. This is the real world, bro. Even though you're on your phones all the time and you might be disconnected from the real world, you're still living in the real world with real consequences. Online, you can, just for an example, online you can call somebody a bitch. Say that in real life, you're probably getting your teeth knocked out. But with this Disneyland type of era that we living in, we forgetting about consequences.
Goes on to explain that quiet quitting is the result of, quote, unprecedented employee burnout. People are feeling more burned out and overworked than ever before, allegedly. And this has led to the quiet quitting trend wherein employees, in defiance of something called hustle culture, decide to go to work but put in less effort. They'll do only the bare minimum and no more. They'll work, but they won't work hard. As mentioned, this is a major topic of conversation on TikTok, especially where people are too burned out to do their jobs, but not too burned out to record TikTok videos talking about how burned out they are. So here's one viral TikTok video.
Literally, bro. Like people just want to, like literally what I said. People just want to be lazy, bro. They just don't want to work. They just want to have money handed to them. You feel me? Like that's basically how it sounds, bro. They just want to have everything handed to them without them actually having to put in work. They feel like that we wasn't put on earth to work. That I hear that a lot, bro. So then what was you put on earth to do? To sit on your ass. You was put on earth to waste away and live your worst life.
Video giving more details about this revolutionary new concept.
Everybody's talking about quiet quitting and how it's the new negative talent crisis. I think it's a good thing. The youngest generations at work are rejecting the idea of hustle culture or framing your entire life around some dream job. They're rejecting putting their mental health below their performance goals. With quiet quitting, you're doing what you're paid for and not more. And it's about setting boundaries around what you're willing to do. If the inflation rate is 8.5% and you get a 1% raise, what do employers expect? I see this as a healthy evolution that can actually equalize the employee-employer relationship more. Do you think quiet quitting is a good thing? Let me know.
Okay.
Quiet quitting is probably the dumbest shit we could ever do in life, bro. Hopefully this doesn't become a thing. She said, should this become a thing? No, hopefully it doesn't, bro. Like this, what would we gain as a people if this became a thing, bro? Like how would this benefit us if this became a thing? You feel me? Like this is like, it's a big NO for me, bro.
So a few points here. First of all, doing the bare minimum at work is not some unique, quirky new approach to life. We don't need a label for it. We already had a label. It's called lazy. And lazy people have always existed. In fact, they made a movie called Office Space over 20 years ago about exactly this idea. I think this is my second Office Space reference in as many shows. The protagonist feels drained by his soul-sucking office job and decides to stop trying, and hilarity ensues. But Office Space didn't invent anything either. In fact, what makes the movie funny is that it's relatable. Everybody knows what it's like to be fed up with your job, and to be fed up with other various mundane aspects of your life. Everybody has fantasized about adopting an I don't give a damn attitude. Everyone has especially fantasized about smashing office appliances with a baseball bat, as they do in that film. The point is that millennials and Gen Z aren't sparking a revolution here. They're experiencing laziness. The only difference is that they're narcissistic enough to think they invented it. Second, if you want to do the bare minimum, that's fine, okay? That's mediocrity. And if you want to live a mediocre life, you're welcome to it. Many people before you have chosen that path, and many people after you will do the same. That's why it's mediocrity. Just don't pretend that you're putting in less of an effort at your job so that you can invest more.
Bro, and that's a fact, bro, about this. It's like with my generation, bro, like again, bro, we want to get out of responsibility so bad. Like I just made a post on my thing. I forgot what I asked. I'm not gonna cap, bro, so I might be butchering it. I didn't say this word for word, but I basically said, would you put your daughter on birth control if it was safe? Like we all know birth control is unsafe and it's a lot of health concerns with it. You feel me? I said, it removed that. Would you still put it on there? A lot of people said yes. Okay, cool. Then me personally, I say I would never put my daughter on birth control just off the simple fact that I'm going to teach my daughter that, you feel me, not to have sex. You should not be having sex. You feel me? Da 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 da. Not saying you shouldn't be having sex. I mean, obviously humans are supposed to be having sex, yes. But wait until you get the right one. Wait until you know he's the one and he'll be there for you. You feel me? And he'll be able to provide for you and the child and the rest of your children. And this is the person you want to be with the rest of your life. People got upset with that. You feel me? I don't see how. I don't see why. You feel me? They like, a lot of the time they like, well, why would you want your kid? Like, what if she does get pregnant and this and that? If my kid gets pregnant and while she's in my house, then that's on my kid, bro. Like that's her responsibility to take care of that child. You feel me? And if the man doesn't want to step up, you feel me? My daughter knew who she was dealing with, bro. Of course, me as a man, me as my daughter's father, I'm gonna find out who the dude is. Talk to him, be like, hey man, you need to step up. You feel me? You chose to have this kid. You need to raise it. You feel me? How to, you know what dad's gotta do. Talk to him. You feel me? Handle stuff like a man. You feel me? Talk, whatever type. But it's like after that, at the end of the day, that's not my role to play. You feel me? That's my daughter's role to get this man to get on board, to raise his child, to make sure this man be a man. You feel me? Like that's my daughter's burden. You feel me? And if he chooses not to, as a man, you feel me? I'm gonna have to help raise him. You feel me? As a grandparent, I'm gonna have to help raise it. That's kind of what I signed up for. I'm an emergency. You feel me? So obviously this is an emergency, but I'm not gonna let her just use me as this safety net and this. Oh well, my dad always gonna be there, because when things go left, you feel me? You gotta be an adult at the end of the day. You have to do adult like consequences. And yeah, there's gonna be embarrassment behind you having a child today, society, whatever. But people are embarrassed about working at McDonald's. They are here making money, and people will still talk about, oh, you a cashier at McDonald's, or you start a business, you out here selling shirts. People talk about anything. That should not stop you from getting your money, stop you from living your life. You feel me? Like, bro, do what you got to do. You feel me? Good or bad. You feel me? Right or wrong, whatever. Life is what you make it.
More of your time into more enriching pursuits and passions. Now, that may be what a very small fraction of the quiet quitters do, but it's not how it works for the vast majority. As we discussed last week, most people who give themselves more free time end up spending all of that extra spare time staring at their phones or watching Netflix. Now, if you're actually going to take all the free time, take all the extra energy you have now because you are quiet quitting, and go climb Mount Everest or start a side business or even like take painting classes or something, then okay. You are reinvesting your time and energy into another pursuit that to you is more worthwhile. But that is just simply not what most people do or are going to do. And we should be honest about that. And you should be honest with yourself.
Again, bro, I'm glad he said that, bro. I'm not finna go on another rant, y'all. Be cool. But like, we live in this Disney World society, bro. Like that's what's wrong with us. We live in Disneyland, man. That's all I'm gonna say, y'all.
And if you're doing the bare minimum at work, refusing to go above and beyond, and not pursuing anything else notable with your life, then you will be unsuccessful and again mediocre. That's who you're going to be. That's what your life is going to be. You will not flourish financially or in any other way. You're going to leave little mark on the world. You'll achieve nothing of note. That is going to be your life. Now, the luxury of the modern world does provide people with the unprecedented option of coasting by on the bare minimum if they want, expending very little energy. This was not a lifestyle available to most people for most of history. Now it is available. You can take advantage of that opportunity, and you can if you want, but it does come with a price. Nothing is free. Even laziness is not free, especially laziness is not free. Not in this life. Being lazy will extract a payment from you, whether you like it or not. And what you are giving up in exchange for ease of life is any chance of doing anything notable, interesting, or great with your life. Because the notable, interesting, and great things are done by people who give more of themselves than is required. Great lives are led by those who look for ways to give more, not less. This is also true just in the microcosm of the workplace. For the most part, the people who succeed, are the ones who are giving more. So you're just doing exactly what you need to. The guy next to you is doing a lot more than he needs to. He's probably going to be more successful than you. And then when he is, you're going to whine about it and say, oh, it's not fair. This isn't fair. Actually, it's totally fair. Now, it's possible that there could be someone who's awarded with success even though they didn't earn it and you did. That kind of unfairness really does happen. But probably that's not the case. Probably that's a story you're telling yourself to make yourself feel better.
That's a fact, man. And I look at it like this, bro. Like, you can't get mad at the teacher, or I see a lot of students blame the teacher. This is just an example. Just listen to the story. A lot of the students blame the teacher, like, oh, I didn't learn this, I learned that. Coming from a dude that dropped out of high school, was always suspended and expelled. I can tell y'all from my mouth, bro. I've never had a bad teacher, bro. All my teachers were good teachers. I just, if I didn't know what I was learning, it was because I wasn't paying attention. You feel me? And unless you feel me going to this poverty enriched, you feel me, school where they don't check and see background or something, and you feel me, your teacher's a criminal or something, and he don't got no college degree. Most schools require you to do 4+ years of college. You feel me? And then not on top of that, they look at the colleges you went to and what you graduated with. You feel me? So it's like a lot of the times y'all can't blame it on the teachers because these teachers know what they're talking about, bro. Y'all just choose not to listen and y'all want to be a victim. Well, I didn't learn this. I don't know this. I don't know that. Come on now, bro. Like, we got to start taking responsibility for our lives, man, and stop blaming bro. I hate my generation, bro. We are so victimized, bro, and none of us are victims. None of us are oppressed by anything, bro. And this is society today, bro. How can you be oppressed? Like, what is bad about this society, bro? You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever. A lot of the times, you can say whatever you want. What is oppressive about this? It's nothing, bro.
Probably that person earned it, and you didn't. And in general, the great people are the ones who do hard things, not the ones who avoid hard things. That's a fact of life. It will never change. So all I'm asking, you want to be a quiet quitter, fine. Don't come around later complaining about your lack of success. Don't become envious of the people more successful than you. You wanted to quiet quit, okay? You wanted to put in less effort. You aimed low, and you got what you wanted. You have no right to resent people who aimed higher than you. Third and final point, related to the first 2 points. I am not suggesting that you should stay forever in a job you hate, pouring yourself into it year after miserable year. If you hate your job and you feel unfulfilled by it, if you feel that it's not making use of your talents, if you think it's a dead end, etc., then go chase something better. If you
Or start something better.
just don't want to work at all, then you're a lazy, overgrown child. And as long as you maintain that attitude, you're destined, as previously discussed, to be a mediocre failure and a disgrace and an embarrassment to your family and everyone who knows you. But if you're willing to work and yet you feel that your work right now is wasted or futile or pointless, then go and pursue a new opportunity. And yeah, you can make excuses. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do it for all these. You can make excuses all you want. I can't do it. It's a risk. If I do that, it won't work out. If I got to get this, I have a family. Those are excuses, and I mean they might even be valid. But once again, the people who do great things are not focused on the excuses, or they act in spite of them. Staying at your job and trying to do the bare minimum is the coward's way out. That's what the guy in Office Space discovered. By the end of the film, he had left the office world completely, found happiness as a construction worker. He found work that was meaningful to him. And that's what you should do. Because that's professional success, right? There isn't a certain salary you have to reach in order to be successful professionally. What matters is whether you're doing work that is meaningful to you and which utilizes your talents, skills, and efforts. That's success. And it's a lot better than being a lazy bum, also known as a quiet quitter. And that's why quiet quitting as a concept, and especially also just as a label, is canceled. Well, before you go,
Man, I don't even really have to give you feel me, an outro to this, bro. Because I mean, he spoke and he spoke facts for real, for real. Like, it's really no outro, man. He did the outro for me.